Hi there, my name is Vivek and I'm a functional Odoo expert here at Business Solutions, an Odoo Gold partner based in North America. And today's demonstration or presentation is going to be about our solution for customers that are involved in engineering to order or project-based manufacturing workflows. So if you are the type of company that typically designs your customers' products, whether it's introducing or revising a bill of materials or a process before you can actually manufacture it, then this is going to be a relevant and informative presentation for you. Okay, without further ado, let's begin the presentation. So step one, I'm going to go into this projects application icon because a lot of the rules and configurations are set on what we call project templates, project types. So you can create as many types as you need, and each type in the template, you'll be able to define the sequence of tasks, their dependencies, and whether they relate to some sort of process, like a manufacturing order or a purchase order. I already have one of these templates open, and we're going to take a look at this one, 2022 B21FG. And you can see the different columns which define our workflow essentially. I have a sequence of events, 11 items. I have names of specific processes that I do in manufacturing. I have rules set up on whether a specific task requires a specific follower to be attached to it, or whether it's specifically assigned to an individual, because that's the task that they typically complete in a project, and whether a task is a main task or a subtask, whether there's a parent and child dependency, and also whether a task is dependent upon a previous one, or if you can run some of these tasks in parallel. And the final piece to this is what kind of task is it? Is it just your standard regular project task where you enter in information on the work done and you put in some timesheet entries? Or are some of these tasks able for us to create a engineering change order in the PLM module, or the ability to create a manufacturing order from the task? Or is it related to a purchase order, a customer approval, or an internal approval? And these are just some of the rules that you would be able to configure on your project template, which you would then apply to your sales order, and the rest of the workflow will trickle down accordingly. Okay, so let's then now move on to the sales side of things, so we can actually create an order and apply this project template to see how it works. All right, firstly, I'm going to add a customer, and I'm going to select the Jackson group. As soon as I add the Jackson group, and I add my project template, you'll see a new tab appear. This project details tab requires me to set the end date or the deadline of our project. When do we want to complete the entire project? And by choosing that date, the system is able to generate the start date based on the duration of the tasks, the work orders, and other items that have some time allotted to it. So if I want this project to wrap up by the end of the month on the 30th of September, I'm going to need to start it on the 16th at the latest. The other piece of important information I need to add is I need to add a product. So I'm going to select the product that I know that we manufacture. And now that I've selected that product and the template, I'm able to access all the information on the sale order regarding to the project process, the raw materials, the routes of it and its quantity, and of course, the start and end date and information about the project details. Okay? So the very next step for us now is to go ahead and confirm. By confirming this, it's going to trigger some automated tasks, some smart tabs that you're going to see on the right corner of sales order 140. Okay, so now you see that there's a delivery tab, and you see that there's a project overview tab. I'm going to jump into the project overview tab, And here you can see that we have a project which is labeled according to the related sale order. So we have project SO0140, which is related to sale order 140, which is related to the project template 2022 B21FG. Okay? And all of this is related to us manufacturing this product for our customer. So you can see this is a new project that's been launched from the confirmation of our sale order. And the next step for us is to confirm it so it moves into progress. All right, it's changing status. And as soon as it does that, you see 11 tasks appear. And one of them happens to be a portal task for our customer to approve. We also have other tabs related to us being able to manage and organize all our documents related to the project. The profitability report, which we will see at the very end of the demonstration, timesheets that are recorded on tasks, and an overall forecast. I also have, just like on the sale order, all the information about the project process and the raw materials, as well as the settings of this project. Who's the manager? Who's in charge of the project? Which people at the company can view it? Do we allow timesheet entries? Are those timesheet entries billable to our customer details, and whether or not we want to be able to plan resource allocation and our tasks in a Gantt view. So all of this is available to us. And I'm going to go into the test to show you the different stages in the pipeline and the tasks that have been triggered. So I have different stages, and you can create whichever stages that pertain to your own business. And here you can see color-coded in red, it's our internal tasks. And then that single blue task, that's for our customer who has to approve some of the design work. Okay? So I am going to start the process by moving our first task into in progress, and we'll just take a look at a couple of them so you get a look and feel for what's inside one of these task forms. I'm going to click into it, and it's going to open up the task form. And this is my first task. It's moved into in progress. I'm just simply going to click edit. I can assign it to myself, and then I can simply add timesheets. So I'm going to say 1 hour for this task. I'm going to add a line. I'm just going to add description. I'm going to say 1 hour right here. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to mark done. Notice on the right-hand side, every time I've completed some sort of operation, or when something is created, or it changes status, or information is inputted, the system records all of it. So your historical audit tool is here on the right side, as well as your ability to send external emails, ping your internal colleagues and log notes, and then schedule activities from a calendar. Okay. You can also track all your attachments to the task over here. So let's go back to our tasks. Let's move the second one over. This is the task that's related to our ECO actually. So I'm going to click into here. I'm going to click edit, and mandatory in bold is our related ECO, or engineering change order. So this is where we'll be able to release the bill of materials, either a new one or a revision, same with the process or any product attributes. So I'm simply going to come in here and create a fresh one. Okay, let's give it a name. The form's going to automatically pop up. I'm going to specify what type of ECO this is, and we know it's a design improvement. And I'm going to select, instead of product only, I'm going to apply this on the bill of materials, which includes the routing of the process. We select our product. Automatically, the bill of materials will appear as well. And we can just simply close this. Okay. And if we want, we can start a timer over here at the same time. I can assign it to myself, and I can save this. Okay. I'm going to go over to this tab right here because I have my PLM that's open, my Product Lifecycle Management tool. And if I come in here and I just refresh, I can see a new ECO dropping into this dashboard. the one that we just created. Okay, that's us, ECO number 21. Okay, and here you can see it's in the new stage. I'm just going to simply move it to in progress. Here you can see the ECO and the task from our project linked together. So that's our task. Okay, and from the task itself, that's our ECO. Okay, so easy for us to always find the two pieces of information because it's impossible. They're connected, so it's very impossible to lose that information. All right. From here, I'm going to go ahead and start the revision. It's going to add some more smart tabs on the right corner of this form. So if I want, I can update the documents or the bill of materials from here, or I can access the tab related to it. I just click into here, click here, and I can upload any drawings, workflow, diagrams, worksheet instructions, ECO instructions, and so forth. Whatever I need to upload document-wise, I can do that right here. And then here's my BOM revision, keeping track of the version. So we are on version 9. And from here, I can go ahead and I can make changes. Right? I can use the chatter to communicate with my teammates. I can change operations if I want to change the duration or the sequence, or if I want to add some quality control steps or checkpoints in each operation. I can do it from right here. I'm just simply going to do a simple change. I'm going to change our quantity of 1 unit to 2. I'm going to save it. If I wanted to add more components or remove components or change them, I can do that from right here. And I'm going to go ahead and save. And I'm going to go back to the ECO. Okay, and here I can track the BOM changes. That's us, the BOM changes. And we're going to move into validated stage, the next stage. And here we can apply the changes. But I know as my user Mitchell, I don't have that approval. That approval is done by the design team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go over here to another tab that I have open. And I'm just going to log in as the design user. So I'm not Mitchell anymore, I'm the design user. And I'm going to go into our PLM, into the dashboard. And right here is our ECO 21. And I have the ability to either approve or reject. Okay, so I might not be the one applying the changes in this case, but I will be the one who will give the approval. So I'm going to click approve. Okay, and now I'm just going to move back out of here. And I'm going to click apply changes as Mitchell. And it's effective. It's done. You see all the chatter over here. When something was created, when it changed status, when we had the approval, and when it was validated and made effective. All of that is shown right here. Okay, so now we have a new revised bill of materials to our product that we are going to sell to our customer. We can now move back into our task, which is right here, and we can just say done. Okay, and it's moved into done stage. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop clock, put some description. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save this. And we've moved on and we're completed with this task. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This is our manufacturing task, production and process. So I'm going to move this over to in progress. I'm going to click in. And over here, I'm going to do a couple of things. Let's assign it to myself. And now I'm going to create an MO, which will create a manufacturing order in draft stage. So I create the MO. I'm going to save it. And we can go into the Smart tab right here. Notice I'm an admin, so I'm moving breadcrumbs to breadcrumbs, meaning I can start in one place, in one application, and since all of the applications are integrated, I don't have to jump back out to go into another application. I can just simply follow the trail from right here. Now, in reality, you'd have different departments and silos at your company, and you wouldn't want one person to move so seamlessly from like a sales module to a manufacturing module. In that case, you would just set up the permissions. What are the user permissions for that individual? And they will only be able to access the modules that pertain to their department. Okay, so here I have a draft manufacturing order. I have my component. And notice it's not one unit, it's 2 units because we did that ECO. I have all my work orders right here with their duration and the type of sequence it is, whether it's parallel or it's dependent. And from here, I'm just going to simply confirm it to move it to confirm stage. But before I do that, I need to add my planned schedule date. So let's go ahead and add Monday. And when I save this, now I can confirm it. Also notice when I added the start date, it automatically has added the end date of that manufacturing order based on the duration of all these different work orders we have. So if you add up all these times and the working hours of operation that we have at our company, you'll see that we'll be able to finish the next day. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and confirm this. It's moved into confirmed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say we're ready to plan. All right, and we're checking availability for our raw material. All right, we've reserved 2, as you can see here. And now I'm going to go back to my work order screen, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start manufacturing. Okay. So first work order, kiosk mode or production view. Right here where you see the stock image, you would see a worksheet instruction. So maybe some diagrams, some instructions, blueprints, so forth. You'd be able to pull them up here, and based on the step in the process, the correct corresponding worksheet will pop up over here. Okay. Time is tracking in real time. I'm going to go ahead and mark this as done. And we're going to do the next 2 operations before we move back to the project tasks. So I'm going to go in here, and I have another worksheet. And I'm just going to simply mark this one as done as well. And I have a third one. So I'm going to go into this one as well. And before I mark this as done, just note over here I have nice big bold buttons specifically designed for manufacturing people for us to be able to pause. So the timer will be able to stop for whatever reason you might need to pause the work order. Or if you need to block it for some reason, scrap some items, add a component on the fly, issue a quality alert to the quality team, or issue a maintenance request on machinery to the maintenance team. You can do that all from this production view. So let's go ahead and close this. I'm going to mark it as done. Okay, now before we go ahead with final assembly, I'm going to need to go back to our sale order essentially, or our project. So I'm just going to quickly go in here, go back to our sale order 140. Okay, and from here, I can access. I can also access my projects from the project dashboard right here. Okay, the ones that are in progress or the ones that are new or still need to be defined, I can access from here, or I can always go back to my sale order as well. Okay, and my project is right here. So I'm going to go back to my tasks, and I'm going to do a couple more tasks. So I'm going to go here. Okay, I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to add another timesheet entry, just so we have something to view in the profitability report. Okay, we completed this task as well. Now we have the customer portal task. So we're going to go here. Okay, and in here, this customer needs to go ahead into the portal, and they need to complete this task for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to that other tab we had, separate tab, and I'm going to log out of this user, and I'm going to log back in as Gordon Owens, the customer. Let's try that again. Password is portal. And it's Gordon Owens. Okay, let's go ahead and log in. All right, so now that we're logged in the customer's portal, you have a whole bevy of information that the customer can access. Quotes, sales orders, if they're a vendor, their purchase orders, invoices or bills, if they're a customer or a vendor, as well as the project. If you allow your customer to view the visibility of the project, they can access their projects. Okay, in this case, it's project 140. And they can access the tasks of that project. They can see the status of the project. And here you can see which items are in progress, which ones have been completed, which ones are waiting for another operation, such as a work order, right? And you can see the 3 that we've completed so far, right? These are the 3 that we've completed so far. So for this one, this specific task is the one that's in blue right here. Okay, so we're going to have to go into this one, and Gordon is going to approve it. It might write a little feedback here that we'll be able to see on the back end. Okay, so he's done with the task. I'm going to minimize the screen. All right, and I'm going to say that this one is done as well. Okay, and you can see the comment from the customer that they wrote to us in the portal. You can see that they can communicate with us as well. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my tasks right here. And I believe after we have approved it, we're going to go back and we're going to complete one of the work orders that we were doing, final assembly. I'm going to go ahead and enter into kiosk mode. Worksheet pulls up, timer is moving, marking it as done. Okay, and before I do these next set of work orders in manufacturing, I'm going to jump back into the projects. We're going to go back to the tasks and we're going to do a couple of tasks in a row, 4 of them. So I'm just going to quickly go move this task and we're going to move it to done. I'm going to move this task and quickly just move it to done just to speed up the process, since we already know the process on entering in timesheets and assigning tasks and completing them. So to save time, we're just going to zip through these 4 tasks before we're going to go back to our manufacturing process. Okay, so last one, we're going to move here. All right, so now we only really have 2 new tasks, and once we've finished our production in process, the manufacturing order, this will automatically close as well. Okay, so let's go back to our work orders, and here we are able to do some of the next manufacturing orders. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this. Quickly mark it as done. We're going to go ahead and do this. Mark it as done. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and move the last tasks. Progress. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and just finish these guys. I have to do a previous task. There we go. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and move this down here too. And let's go back and complete the process. Okay, so good thing is if you miss a step or you move a task before it should be moved, meaning there's a sequence to the template, as you could see, the system will give you pop-ups. It's going to tell you that you are trying to complete something before you are supposed to finish something else previous to it. Okay, so you always have those checks and balances, those guardrails in the system to let you know that you are doing something incorrectly and you need to revert back into the correct format. So now we can go ahead and complete this. I'm just going to quickly mark this as done. And we have a couple of QC items that we're going to go through. This one first, mark this as done. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do this. Mark it as done. And finally, we're going to go ahead and do that QC I mentioned. Okay, so some QC can be added here, whatever it is. Pass, fail, take a photo, add a measurement. Okay, and now that we've completed this, I'm going to go ahead and mark this as done and close the MO. Okay, you can see it's no longer here. The MOs and the work orders, that MO and the related work orders are all complete. Okay, now if I go back to our tasks and I just refresh this, it's moved automatically, production in process. So it was showing in progress, we closed the MO, I just refreshed this tab here and automatically it's moved into production in process as done, completed. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to go back to our sale order and I'm going to go back into our project template to show you that our project that was in progress is done automatically, okay, without us having to do anything. It moved into the done stage. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of things before I show you the reporting. We still have to deliver the item. It was not available at the time on the delivery, but if I go here, you can see it's automatically ready. All right? The system has known that this item that we manufactured, whole purpose of manufacturing it was for a specific sale order that's tied to a specific delivery order. So as soon as we marked the MO closed and done, the system automatically allocated that item that we produced to this delivery. So let's go in here. I'm simply just going to go ahead and validate, hit apply. And any action you see me using a keyboard or a mouse can be done with a barcode scanner. So people in the warehouse probably won't be walking around typing in a keyboard, but they might have a barcode scanner and they might want to scan commands like validate. Okay, so I've gone ahead and shipped this out, and I'm just going to quickly create an invoice because my invoicing policy was on shipped quantities. So now that I've shipped it out, I'm going to go ahead and just create an invoice, and I'm going to show you all of this in that profitability report. So from here, all I have to do is post it. I'm going to confirm. I get to see the journal items, okay, the accounts, and I can just simply register the payment when I receive it, create payment, okay, and we get that status update. Everything is recorded right here in the chatter. So now that I've delivered this product and I've invoiced this product, I can go back into my project overview, okay, and we can take a look at these recorded timesheets. So here you can see the recorded timesheets. We have a couple of entries, 3 of them. All of them happen to be me, Mitchell, and they're all related to our sale order 140 or our project 140, the related tasks, and the time spent. Okay, so now that we've been able to see this, I'm going to jump into our accounting dashboard. Okay, and I'm going to go to this accounting tab and I'm going to select timesheet journal. I'm going to select today's date, just go until tomorrow. I'm going to create journal entry. Okay, here I can see the unposted or draft journal entries, journal items related. Okay, and you can see these are the 3 recent ones related to our project 140 or sales order 140. Okay, so from here, if I want, I can just simply post it. So I'm just going to click post. Okay, and now I've posted these entries related to our project. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my project And I'm going to click on this profitability report. And the profitability report here is showing us all sorts of information. Sale order amount, invoice amount, paid amount, production cost, which I'll show you in a second, as well as the timesheet cost. And we can see our profit right here. So let's just quickly go over to our manufacturing order again. And here it's in done stage, but you can see a whole slew of smart tabs showing us traceability, product moves, and this one right here, our cost analysis. This is showing us our cost structure, our cost of operations, which is the work center costing. And we also have our labor costing. Which employee did what sort of operation, how much time did they spend individually, and what's their timesheet cost per hour. And we can see that in reference this $100 per hour cost. If I just look up Mitchell, right here, $100 per hour. Okay, so that's how we're getting this breakdown in the manufacturing order. Okay, well, thank you everyone for being available for this presentation. I hope it was helpful and informative, and thank you so much for joining me. Goodbye.